Hi, and welcome to week 6. This week's topics are anthropology and sociology. You are viewing the video to explain the activities this week. As usual, there is a social-emotional learning activity. You're going to view the video below here and respond to the questions after viewing the video. So which social, emotional, and cultural anchor competencies and accompanying teacher moves do you see taught and or modeled in the lesson? If you take a look at the framework, which I have included here as well, don't forget that the tan line are the anchor competencies, the tan ring, and the teacher moves is the teal ring, the outer ring here. You're going to take a look and decide which social, emotional, and cultural anchor competencies and the teacher moves do you see taught or modeled in the lesson, and what evidence do you see for each anchor or teacher move that you selected? You're referred to the framework to guide your analysis and provide your evidence. How do you think the teacher's attention to those anchor competencies may have contributed to her students' academic success and ability to thrive? Remember that when you teach social emotional learning, your students will be more successful academically. And that's what the research is saying. Excuse me. What do you think this teacher would have needed to do during the first 6 weeks of school to get to this point? You have to remember, when kids come to your classroom, even though they've been in school previously, maybe in various grades along the way, they haven't been, excuse me, in your classroom. They don't know your expectations, they don't know your routines, they don't know your practices, and so they need to practice all of those during the first 6 weeks of school. It's more important that you spend time working on those expectations versus starting right off with academics. You can integrate academics within the work you do in developing your routines and your classroom practices. And then the reflection piece, what's one takeaway for your own practice? That's the social emotional learning activity this week. You're going to read chapter 13, sociology and anthropology, and then you're going to take a look at this video and respond to the questions: what is anthropology and why should we teach it? Use evidence for the video and the textbook in your responses. You're going to post your responses in this Dropbox. Then you're going to read a little bit about folklore and what folklore means when it comes to culture. So you're going to locate two versions of the same folklore story. One should be the common variant of the folklore, folktale, or fairy tale. The other should be a cross-cultural variant for comparison purposes. You're going to create a summary story map graphic organizer, and you're going to note the following story elements: architecture, clothing, weather, time period, and other cultural characteristics depicted in the text and illustrations. Be sure to reference the books you've chosen with APA 7th edition citations. Once your story map graphic organizer is complete, then respond to the following questions. What changes take place as the story is read between the two cultures? What features remain the same? Post your summary story map graphic organizer and your responses in this Dropbox, and then you're going to comment on 2 of your colleagues' postings. You're also going to take a look at culture. There are 3 levels of culture. You're going to read about the concrete, the behavior, and the symbolic levels. You're going to find a resource from the internet that best exemplifies each particular level of culture, and you're going to post these 3 resources in one document in this Dropbox. We're also taking a look at multicultural education. You're going to define the following terms: cultural diversity, ethnicity, and culturally responsive teaching, and how each relate to the 4 approaches to multicultural education. Those are found in this chapter this week, and I noted pages right here. And last but not least, you're going to view the video Don't Laugh at Me. This is a video of a children's book with the same title. And the activity that went along with this video were to respond to questions that could be asked, such as: what were some of the lyrics in the song that made you feel happy? What lyrics made you feel sad? Did you have other feelings while listening? What were they, and what were the lyrics at that time? Let's list the feelings you experienced when you listened to the song. So the teacher would chart the feelings using a Venn diagram using the headings happy, sad, and both as feelings are explored. And explore a couple of the feelings charted. How many of you felt that feeling during the video? When in the song did you feel that? That's the activity for this video. So what you're going to do is locate a resource on bullying you would use with the students in a classroom. You may use one of the resources from the Social Emotional Cultural Anchor Competency Guide. Possible social emotional cultural anchored competencies could include create community, building trusting relationships, and respond constructively across differences. You're going to post your resource in this Dropbox and describe an activity you would use the chart in class to develop a self-esteem concept. You're going to comment on 3 of your colleagues' postings with additional ideas. So not actually going to comment to these questions up in the first paragraph in regards to the book Don't Laugh at Me, but you're just going to take a look at that so you have an idea of a resource you could use. So you're going to find another resource on bullying. It can be a book, it can be a website, it can be an app, whatever works, and then you're going to share how you would use one of those resources from the either from the Social Emotional Culture Anchor Competency Guide, or it could be just your own thoughts in regards to how you're going to use this resource on bullying in your classroom. You're going to post this resource in the Dropbox, describe the activity you're going to use the chart in class to determine a self-esteem concept, and you're going to comment on 3 of your colleagues' postings. And that is it for this week. There is no group work. I'm giving you a break on that, just the independent work that I have shared here with you in this video. This week we're also going to meet as a group, and I will put that information in the announcements that you'll receive when you open Blackboard this week, or should get in your emails. As always, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you online.